What's up, YouTubers? So before we get started with this video, on first take, they're going to be talking about the Monday night game between the Baltimore Ravens and the Kansas City Chiefs. So let's see what they have to say about that.
Monday Night Football didn't disappoint except for those Ravens. 0-3 now against the Chiefs. Stephen A. Jackson, his worst passing effort, just 97 yards. But he's 21-1 against the rest of the NFL. So tell me this, who did you learn more about? Was it Lamar or Mahomes?
Well, it's definitely
Yeah, well, we learned Lamar Jackson needs some help on offense.
Lamar, because we knew about Mahomes, and we knew what Mahomes is capable of doing. He's thrown for 374 and 377 yards in their two previous games he's played against and beat Lamar Jackson's Baltimore Ravens. Last night, he just put on a show. He threw to like 11 or 12 different receivers. He was connected on a bomb with Hardman, connected with a beautiful picture-perfect pass to Tyreek Hill in the end zone. We know what Patrick Mahomes can do, but Lamar Jackson, we were hoping for more. We were expecting more from the reigning league MVP who came into the game completing 77% of his passes. This brother had 35 yards passing in the first half. 35 yards passing. Now, granted, there were some drops. And granted, the Kansas City Chiefs defense, Steven Spagnuolo and those boys, they were putting a hat on Baltimore's receivers. So there were some passes that they could have caught, they dropped, etc. But for the most part, it was containing Lamar Jackson in the pocket, not letting him get outside, but so much. He ran for like 41 yards in the first half, ran for about 90 yards or whatever it was for the game. But once again, we walked away from this game seeing that Lamar Jackson can run the football like.
So look at those stats. So that means he's doing something extremely right and extremely wrong against the Chiefs. If he's 21-1 against the rest of the league, that means he's absolutely killing it. He has their number. But when it comes to the Chiefs, there's just something that's not clicking. And I think what it is Lamar Jackson needs some help. He's up there doing everything. He's running the ball. He's throwing the rock. I mean, I think by the time it gets to the point where he's trying to throw the deep ball, he might be a little apprehensive, a little nervous about going deep because he has to do everything. He has so much pressure on him. I think what Lamar Jackson needs is a Tyreek Hill or a Travis Kelce.
No other. He's an incredible athlete who needs to continue to improve as a quarterback. Patrick Mahomes is a superstar quarterback. There's levels to this. There's a difference. And it was showcased yesterday. And the unfortunate part for me, like I said, if Kansas City wins the game, but it's 27-24, it's 37-34, it's 40-30 or something like that. But Lamar Jackson resembles a quarterback, but they just get outdueled. That's totally fine. The problem is that, once again, trouble throwing the football. And that's what we saw last night. It's just that simple.
Like I said, I think he might be having trouble throwing the football because there's too much pressure on him to make the plays all the time. If he had a Tyreek Hill or a Travis Kelce, he'd be able to take off some of the pressure and be able to chuck the rock to those two guys. And as far as he needs a good, solid running back, he can't always be running all the time and then worry about passing and worry about doing everything on offense. That man definitely needs some help. And as you can see, he's 21-1 against the rest of the league. That means he's doing pretty darn good. There's just something against Kansas City. One little thing he needs to tweak. One little thing he needs to tweak before he really starts getting his hands on the Kansas City Chiefs. And I think what it is he needs some help on offense. I mean, if he's doing all this by himself, 21-1 in the league by himself, just imagine if he gets some serious help. And I know he has Hollywood Brown there and all them, but I mean like a top 5 receiver or running back. Lamar Jackson would be a beast, just as much as Patrick Mahomes.
I'm good. I knew about Mahomes, but I would say a lot of other people learned even more about Mahomes last night. Patrick Mahomes is in a class by himself in the history of football. In the history of football, no one has ever played quarterback as well as Patrick Mahomes has played it since he was a rookie or since he was a first-year starter. Think about that for a second. 50 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, should have been to the Super Bowl. Next year, Super Bowl MVP. This year so far, look what he did last night. He has reduced the best players and teams in the NFL to his plaything. He was throwing bombs down the field with such precision where only the offensive player could catch it. First, diagnosing the defense, figuring out what to, and then precision bombs all over down the field. He was throwing shovel passes, to his fullback for touchdowns.
Yeah.
He's floating little passes to his offensive linemen. He's running the ball. He's having, what they said about Brett Favre. Yeah, he's just having fun out there. But now take away all the mistakes. He's a mistake-proof Brett Favre. He's Aaron Rodgers 2.0. He's Russell Wilson with much more arm talent. What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, and much more weapons. He's got Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce and all those guys. Take away Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill, and where would Patrick Mahomes be? I think he would still be a baller, but I bet you if you put Lamar Jackson on the Kansas City Chiefs, I bet you he'd probably be doing the same thing, close to what Patrick Mahomes is doing, if not even to what Patrick Mahomes is doing. Like I said, take away his two weapons, then we'll see how good Patrick Mahomes is. And I'm not hating on the man because the man's balling, and it's not his fault he has a great tight end, wide receiver. But I'm just saying, let's keep things in perspective here.
Oh, he looked like a man amongst boys.
He looked like, and he's also a leader, and his teammates obviously like him, and he has a great personality. He was so much better than everyone on the field. This is why, Stephen A., when you did your Stephen A's list and you're going through 1 through 5, you don't have the Chiefs 1. Every year, as long as Patrick Mahomes is the quarterback and Andy Reid is his coach, the Chiefs are 1 for me. Prove me wrong.
Okay, take away Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, like I'm saying. Take away some of his weapons, and then we'll see. Can he go 21-1 against the league without Travis Kelce and a Tyreek Hill? God, I said the name so many times. Can he do that? We don't know that yet. But like I said, put Lamar Jackson on the Kansas City Chiefs, and I bet you he'll be close to what Patrick Mahomes is doing. You need to take away that man's weapons, and then we'll see. Don't just say it's Patrick Mahomes is just, the GOAT, and Andy Reid is just some super coach. They're good, they're great, and all that, but still, don't forget to add in Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. There it goes to the name again.
I go back to last year's playoffs. If you were doing power rankings at any point in the playoffs, the Chiefs would never be 1. It's always 10-point-plus comebacks in the fourth quarter, but they win the Super Bowl. So far this year, they didn't look like the best overall team, but one thing I thought going into this game, the Ravens looked better than them. No question. Ravens, I thought, looked like the best team in football. But the Chiefs have Patrick Mahomes. It's a joke how good this guy is right now. Lamar Jackson's only 23, still getting better. Mahomes is 25. I get that. But the odds that anyone right now in the NFL will ever be as good as Patrick Mahomes is right now when he's getting better are slim.
Well, see, to me, I view it a little bit differently, and only from this perspective. This is not basketball. We wanted the Clippers against the Lakers because we wanted to see Kawhi go up against LeBron. We might have said that about this matchup between Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson, but Lamar Jackson doesn't have, Patrick Mahomes ain't playing defense for the Kansas City Chiefs. And somehow, some way, this defense showed up and they gave him problems. And we didn't anticipate that. Patrick Mahomes is phenomenal. We all know that. But the Kansas City Chiefs collectively were made to look relatively normal. It took them an overtime to beat the Los Angeles Chargers 23-20 with a rookie at the quarterback spot in Justin Herbert just a week earlier.
Yeah.
And so
Exactly.
somehow, some way, they eradicated any semblance of a contest last night very early on. After Baltimore kicked this field goal to have a 3-0 lead, it was no game from the moment the Chiefs got rolling. They just marched downfield and demoralized them. I understand from a psychological perspective to know that Patrick Mahomes is going to get the ball, to believe in your heart of hearts that he's going to move the ball effectively and create points. That obviously amplifies the level of pressure that you're feeling as an opposing quarterback. But in the end, you're going against Kansas City's defense, not against Patrick Mahomes.
Well,
there is no excuse to throw for 97 yards.
The Ravens, when you don't have Pro Bowl type talent at wide receiver or tight end.
97 yards. Come on.
That was a career worst.
Yeah, first of all,
You can
look
do
at the
better than
difference
that.
in these two quarterbacks against the blitz, to your point, right? And Greasy pointed out on the telecast, and others have pointed it out on social media and stuff, but Lamar Jackson, eyes down. But it's the whole team, right? Like, where are the hot routes, all that kind of stuff. They just look discombobulated by the blitz. What did Patrick Mahomes do against the blitz? He shredded them. You can't blitz him. You can't do anything. And the sick thing about Patrick Mahomes, when I say he's still getting better, you're right about the Chargers. That's a really good defensive team. When they played the Chiefs, it's a rivalry game, divisional, the whole thing. And they have a nice young quarterback. Sometimes it looks like Mahomes digs himself a hole and then he gets out of the hole, but he's a winner. And it's not coincidental that they always seem to win. When the money's on the line, the dude gets even better.
Listen, he's been.
Yeah, he's a winner and all that, but digging yourself into a hole, that's not good. Eventually, that's not going to be cute anymore, how he gets down by 10 or 14, and then he comes back. Because if you keep doing that, eventually you're not going to be able to come back in one of these big games, and that's going to come back and hurt you, and it's going to hurt the team having to come back and struggle. That's not good. That's not what you want to see, being down that much and then have to fight to come back. That means there's something wrong. Now, if he starts out kicking butt and taking care of business and, being up by 2 or 3 touchdowns, that's what you want in a winner. You don't want to be down a touchdown or two and have to fight to come back and win. That's not good at all. People think that's cute now, but that's going to get old after a while.
Fantastic. Again, we can't take anything away from him. He's a reigning Super Bowl champion. He's phenomenal. But the flip side to it is, let's not forget to give other dudes credit. We mentioned Andy Reid, and Eric Bieniemy needs to be mentioned as well.